The late 3rd century BC was a time of change and upheaval. Rome, fresh from its victories in the Punic Wars, was a rising power in the Western Mediterranean. Across the Adriatic Sea, the kingdom of Macedon, under the ambitious Philip V, was trying to reassert its dominance over Greece. Philip, a skilled general and cunning politician, dreamed of restoring Macedon to the glory days of Alexander the Great. Rome, initially preoccupied with Carthage, viewed Philip's growing power with suspicion. Roman envoys, wary of Philip's ambitions, began to forge alliances with Greek city-states eager to resist Macedonian control. These alliances would prove crucial in the coming conflict. The stage was set for a clash between two of the ancient world's great powers, a clash that would decide the fate of Greece. The flashpoint came in 200 BC. The small Greek city-state of Athens, allied with Rome, appealed for help against a Macedonian attack. Rome, seeing an opportunity to check Philip's growing power and extend its influence eastwards, responded decisively. The Roman Senate, with the backing of the Roman people, declared war on Macedon. The Second Macedonian War began in 200 BC. Rome, led by the consul Publius Sulpicius Galba Maximus, landed in Illyria, modern-day Albania, and began campaigning against Macedonian forces. The early stages of the war were marked by indecisive skirmishes and maneuvering for position. Both sides were testing each other's strength. Philip, a master of traditional Macedonian warfare, relied heavily on his phalanx, a dense formation of heavily armed infantry wielding long spears called sarissas. The Roman legions, on the other hand, were more flexible and adaptable, fighting in smaller, more maneuverable units. They relied on a combination of swordsmanship, javelin throwing, and disciplined formations. In 198 BC, the Roman general Titus Quinctius Flamininus took command. A shrewd strategist and a skilled diplomat, Flamininus understood the importance of winning over the Greeks. He skillfully exploited anti-Macedonian sentiment, promising freedom and autonomy to Greek cities that sided with Rome. Philip, meanwhile, found himself increasingly isolated as former allies defected to the Roman side. The tide of the war was beginning to turn in Rome's favor. The decisive encounter of the war took place in 197 BC near a range of low hills in Thessaly called Cynoscephalae, meaning dog's heads in Greek. The battle began with a chance encounter between foraging parties from both sides. As the skirmish escalated, both Philip and Flamininus rushed reinforcements to the scene. The battle raged for hours. The Macedonian phalanx, a formidable force on level ground, struggled to maintain its cohesion on the uneven terrain. The Roman legions, exploiting gaps in the Macedonian lines, used their greater maneuverability to their advantage. The fighting was brutal and chaotic, with heavy casualties on both sides. The turning point came when a Roman tribune, seeing an opportunity, led a detachment of legionaries against the exposed flank of the Macedonian phalanx. The Macedonian right wing, caught off guard and unable to respond effectively, crumbled under the Roman assault. The rout of the right wing threw the entire Macedonian army into disarray. The Battle of Cynoscephalae was a resounding Roman victory. Philip, his army shattered, was forced to sue for peace. The peace treaty imposed harsh terms on Macedon. Philip had to relinquish his territorial gains in Greece, surrender his fleet, and pay a heavy indemnity to Rome. More importantly, Cynoscephalae marked the end of Macedon as a major power. It also signaled the beginning of Roman hegemony in Greece. Although Rome proclaimed the freedom of the Greeks, it was clear that Rome was now the dominant force in the eastern Mediterranean. Flamininus, hailed as a liberator by the Greeks, cleverly used the victory for Roman propaganda, further solidifying Rome's image as a protector of Greek liberty. Cynoscephalae was more than just a military defeat for Macedon. It was a symbolic defeat. It demonstrated the limitations of the once invincible Macedonian phalanx against the flexibility and discipline of the Roman legions. More broadly, it marked a turning point in the balance of power in the ancient Mediterranean, signaling the rise of Rome and the decline of the Hellenistic kingdoms. The world would never be the same.